The question says here that there are 5 sentences and we have to arrange them to form a coherent paragraph, right? So again, we have to follow the same process. We have to first find the opening sentence and then connect the sentences such that they all form a logical order, right? So it says here, statement 1 says that scientists have for the first time managed to edit genes in human embryo to repair a genetic mutation, fueling hopes that such procedures may one day be available outside laboratory conditions. So statement 1 looks very much like an opening sentence because something is happening for the first time and the author is introducing that with a bang. He says scientists have for the first time managed to edit genes in human embryo to repair a genetic mutation, right? And then 2 says the cardiac disease causes sudden death. So this is the cardiac disease. That means it refers to some kind of disease. So we cannot start the paragraph straight away because it doesn't look like an opening sentence. You straight away say the cardiac disease causes sudden death. But what kind of disease? And I mean, because you have the article the, and secondly it is caused by mutation. So again, 4th cannot start the paragraph. Correcting the mutation in the gene would not only ensure that the child is healthy. All these sentences have a degree of abruptness. They don't look like introductory ideas, and therefore 2, 3, 4 are not likely to open the paragraph. When I come to 5, it says in results announced in Nature this week, scientists fixed a mutation that thickens the heart muscle, a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, whatever it is. So let's keep it HC. This is basically the name of the disease. Now, if you look at statement 1 and statement 5, they both look like opening sentences, right? A statement 1 says scientists have for the first time managed to edit genes in the human embryo to repair a genetic mutation, and statement 5 says in results announced in Nature this week, scientists fixed a mutation that thickens the heart muscle, a condition called this. Now, you might wonder whether we should start the paragraph with 1 or whether we should start the paragraph with 5. Now, the problem is that if you start with let's say you start with 1, or let's say start with 5. In results announced in Nature this week, scientists fixed a mutation that thickens the heart muscle, a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. And then you say scientists have for the first time managed to edit genes in the human embryo, fueling hopes that such procedures may one day be called outside, one day be available outside laboratory. Now the problem is, we know that the cardiac disease causes sudden death. It is caused by a mutation. Now, what is caused by a mutation? It is basically the disease that is caused by a mutation. So understand this. The cardiac disease causes sudden death in otherwise healthy young athletes and affects about 1 in 500 people overall. It is caused by a mutation in a particular gene, and a child will suffer from the condition even if it inherits only 1 copy of the mutated gene. Correcting the mutation in the gene would not only ensure that the child is healthy. So which child is healthy? The child here and a child here. So and a child will suffer. So this the child, the article the connects with a child, because you are taking a child as an example. It is caused, what is caused? The disease. The disease is caused by a mutation in a particular gene, and a child will suffer from the condition even if it inherits only 1 copy of the mutated gene. Correcting the mutation in the gene would not only ensure that the child is healthy. That means basically we know that 4 and 3 form a pair. Now before 4, what can you have? You can have 2. Because it will refer to a disease, and 2 is the disease that we are talking about. The cardiac disease causes sudden death in otherwise healthy young athletes and affects about 1 in 500 people. It is caused by a mutation, and correcting the mutation can benefit. So basically 2, 4, 3 is a pair. Now if you start with statement 1, then you would basically put it 1 and then 5, 2, 4, 3. So you say scientists have for the first time managed to edit the genes. In results announced in Nature this week, scientists fixed a mutation, a condition called this. And this is basically what? The cardiac disease. So that means the cardiac disease in 2 refers to what? The hypertrophic cardiomyopathy in 5. But if you make it 5, 1, 2, 4, 3, then the problem is that you would say in statement 2, you are referring to the cardiac disease, right? Because the cardiac disease is there in statement 2. Now, if there is the cardiac disease, then where exactly is the disease? In statement 1, we don't have the disease. It says scientists have for the first time managed to edit genes of human embryo to repair mutation. But the disease must come, right? Somewhere. And it is not coming. So the point is, firstly, statement 1 is a better introduction. Why? Because it says scientists have for the first time managed to edit genes. In the results announced, So you basically say that the first time something has been done, and in results announced in Nature this week, scientists fixed a mutation. So basically, I would start with 1 because it has that surprise element, that introduction for the first time something has happened, and then you say in results announced in Nature this week, scientists fixed a mutation. And then basically the cardiac disease is nothing but the disease mentioned here, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. And that's why for 1, 5, and then 2, and then you have 4, and then you have 3.